now crave the attention of honorable members as I proceed with my statement of welcome. Honorable members, like the seminal date of July 13, 2023, when the members of Parliament of the ruling SLPP party subscribed the oath of office. Today, November 7, 2023, marks yet another milestone in the life of this sixth Parliament of the second. 52 members of the opposition APC party who had followed the dictates of their party to boycott Parliament have today also subscribed the oath of office as members of Parliament. I therefore consider it a great honor to welcome all of you to this hallowed and sacred chamber of Parliament. Honorable members, permit me to start with the question: what kept you away so long?
People, and of course this is Alive with Baikamz, and of course me and your host MC Jamal, and of course I'd encourage you to subscribe to the Baikamz page on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and for make sure say you support salon business, Africa business, for make sure say we all go before. And of course me and your host MC Jamal, lay watch the next video with the cam for make sure say you learn something and support Africa.
Honorable Usman Abdel Tinubu, Honorable Kemoko Conte, Honorable Abubakar Fofana,
I'm the chairman.
Honorable Zenabu Timbo, Honorable John Sati Kabi. Thank you, congratulations, class, General Shannon. Honorable office. Honorable Speaker, mission accomplished.
Before I get on to my statement of welcome to our new members of Parliament, I would first of all like to thank the Clerk of Parliament for administering the oath of office to our new members. Well done. I will also dispense with a few administrative matters before I get on to the substantive statement that I have to make. Honorable members, we have in our midst very distinguished visitors from Ghana. The Business Committee of the Parliament of Ghana has done us the honor of visiting us today to familiarize themselves with international best practices through interactions and exchange of ideas with their counterparts in this Parliament. The study visit is expected to afford the delegation the opportunity to broaden their knowledge and understanding of the management and planning of the parliamentary business, and to promote efficiency for the effective functioning of their own committee in Ghana. The delegation comprises the following. And it's now my pleasant duty to present them to the House. The Honorable Emmanuel Ama Kofi Bua, Deputy Minority Leader. The Honorable Moses Anin, Member of the Honorable Alex Tete Donogwa, Member. Honorable Della Soa, Member. Honorable Eric Afo, Member. And Mr. Peter Apenqua, Principal Reporter, supporting staff. You are all most welcome. And I personally extend my best wishes to your Speaker, who is a very dear friend of mine, and to wish you a successful visit to our Parliament. We also have a galaxy of personalities in our midst, our local personalities. And I'm particularly heartened to see so many old friends in the chamber today. I want to specially recognize the following. Honorable Alhaji Mikailo Mansere, National Chairman of the APC. Ambassador Usman Fodeyansene. The Honorable Cherno Adam. Lansana Dumbuya Esquire.
This is the Council of APC Media Bloggers Home in the Diaspora. Ina kumguria wewe.
By Mahmoud Bangu. There's a name here that I've heard on the radio so many times. I never had the opportunity of seeing in person. Sidi Hayatu. Ibrahim Prince College. Usman Jazz. Honorable Kambo Kamal. Ambassador Almani Stefani. Mayor Ivan Wally Putlaka. Chairman Kasho Coleman. Chairman Mohammed Nasare Gambia. Honorable Maya Kaika. Honorable Lahai Maran. Performed by the Deputy Whip.
Mr. Speaker, it's 12.
Thank you.
I therefore move that SO5 should be suspended so that the business of the House may continue. Thank you.
I so second, Mr. Speaker.
And all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Mr. Speaker, before the question. Mr. Speaker, before the question. I refer this is a house of procedure. I refer you to SO5 to it's clearly stated that except for Friday, other days SO5 2 will be suspended at 5:12:45.
To suspend proceedings at exactly 12.
Empower you.
That practice cannot supersede the written language of this standing. The motion is premature.
Thank you.
But I must confess, in the 5th Parliament, he was a very close friend, a very troublesome. The Honorable Lima. Dr. S.S. Mara. I have an email, which is not clearly written, but I read Ali Suma. Honorable Ibrahim Wasingan Mansare.
The general.
Honorable Nurdin. Aja Aisan. I don't want to pronounce anyone. Rex Bonafa, Department of Rex Bonafa, is the Minister? Deputy Minister of Transport is here. Honorable Dr. Fatmata Hassan, Presidential Committee for Parliamentary Affairs. Is she here? Very good. Honorable Zainab Kamara, former MP, member of It's now my great pleasure to also recognize the presence of the U.S. Ambassador. Honorable Saibu Baba Kamara. The Minister of Finance, the distinguished Minister of Finance, Sheku Pantamadi. Chairman Kasho Holland Cool. General C.S. Kamara. Honorable Sir Charles, I understand, is also in the chamber. Honorable Fatema. Honorable Martin Bango.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, colleagues. Sorry for the interruption. Mr. Speaker, SU42, your ruling is final, which I respect. But I want to, in connection with my colleagues and other leaders of the House, after they have adjourned for city, I want to engage with my colleagues with the interpretation of SO52. I deliberately refuse not to challenge my colleague in the chamber because of one reason or the other. But I also want to remind members that Section 94 of the 1991 Constitution, Act number 6, that we have the power to regulate ourselves. But I make my provisions on my submission to your office based on SO52 that we want to get to your office and discuss all of us together with the clerk for the interpretation of said provision. I thank you. But you really is final. Thank you.
I will announce the full complement of the names of the membership of the All People's Congress Parliamentary Caucus to the 6th ballot. I will now wish to announce the following names, the names of the composition of the leadership, parliamentary leadership of the All People's Congress for the 6th ballot of the Second Republic. The Honorable Afro-Cargo Opposition Leader.
Soberman.
The Honorable Aaron Arunakoro. Honorable Abdulkarim Kamara.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
The Honorable Catherine. And lastly, the Honorable Kemoko Conte. crave the attention of honorable members as I proceed with my statement of wealth. Honorable members, like the seminal date of July 13, 2023, when the members of Parliament of the ruling SLPP party subscribed the oath of office. Today, November 7, 2023, marks yet another milestone in the life of this sixth Parliament of the second. 52 members of the opposition APC party who had followed the dictates of their party to boycott Parliament have today also subscribed the oath of office as members of Parliament. I therefore consider it a great honor to welcome all of you to this hallowed and sacred chamber of Parliament. Honorable members, permit me to start with the question, what kept you away so long?
The current election.
On several occasions, I tried to meet with you to see reason and come to the house to perform the sacred responsibilities duties for which you have been elected by your people. Instead, chose to stonewall. You should have come a long time ago, just as the honorable colleagues across the aisle did on July 13th. And also, as your party comrades, Honorable Mohamed Bangura,
You are not members of Parliament. Leave the members of Parliament to talk and exchange, and you observe. A repeat of that, Speaker will have no choice but to clear his gallery.
Quite sufficient, yes?
quite sufficient. An honorable has Alfred Thompson had done so gloriously. Nearly 4 months late in arriving. Nonetheless, it is better late than never. More especially, I feel deeply gratified that my audience didn't fall on deaf ears entirely. And today, this sixth parliament can proudly say its whole membership is now fully seated and in full conformity with the multi-party democratic constitution of 1990. The constitution that vehemently and vigorously eschews any return to anything even remotely resembling the one-party dispensation of yesteryear that it has ingloriously banished to the nauseating attics of history. Therefore, I should hasten to pay a very special tribute to the dogged determination and perseverance of the Independent Commission on Peace and National Cohesion, ICPNC, for living up to its legal mandate and to the expectations of the general public. Differences of opinion, perception and persuasion in the political arena, by definition, form an integral part of any truly functioning and vibrant democracy. And therefore it is of the utmost importance that national institutions are established and capacitated to speedily enter into the breach and provide much needed relief where such differences occur, and particularly important where such differences exhibit the potential of exploding into a national crisis and possible violence. So, all of us, the executive branch and the legislative alike, today deserve the fullest commendation for having had the foresight to propose and legislate into existence the ICPNC, which has worked tirelessly to bring about this exalted and much desired outcome. All of us, therefore, should applaud their timely intervention. By the same token, I would like to convey on behalf of the entire House our profound appreciation and our debt of gratitude to the special peace envoys deployed to our country by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, the African Union, and the Commonwealth Secretariat, all of whom have spared no effort in discharging their collective role as international interlocutors and moral guarantors to ensure the successful outcome of the dialogue between the ruling SLPP government and the APC opposition, which today has been consummated by our colleagues from the APC agreeing to terminate their boycott and to assume their seats in the well of this House, to begin the process of discharging their constitutional responsibility to the sixth Parliament of the Second Republic, to which they've been duly elected by their people. Nor can I afford to not acknowledge the presence in our midst of the indefatigable Honorable Cherno Ramadan Maguba, erstwhile Deputy Speaker of this House and former leader of the APC opposition in the 5th Parliament of the 2nd. Indeed, honorable members, no meritorious accomplishment can be properly paid to the 5th Parliament without a resounding and fulsome acknowledgement of the pivotal role of the Honorable General. Not only was his contribution profound as an illustrious member of this House and the ECOWAS Parliament, but also his exemplary and visionary leadership throughout his tenure as a member of this House have left an indelible imprint in the annals of our legislation. Be loudly and boldly told, Honorable Chernobyl, you are a man who is sorely missed. To the Honorable Ibrahim Benga, it is most apposite that I should unhesitatingly describe you as both the political encyclopedia of Sierra Leone and a true first edition of all that stands out as remarkably good of the APC House. They are the title Alpha and Omega of parliamentary politics in Sierra Leone. On behalf of the entire House, I commend you and extend to you our very best wishes for a joyful, peaceful, restful, and well-earned retirement. Last, but by no means least, I turn now to the affable, tall, and elegant Honorable Ajibola Mandispe. This is a man of many admirable qualities. His gentility, humility, and even his every slow but majestic steps still re-echo resoundingly throughout the portals of this hallowed building and the ECOWAS Parliament, with legendary wisdom and tenacity. True, in an age of renewal of any rapidly changing society, it is inevitable that there must come a time when the old has to give way to the young. Indeed, one of the most difficult tasks in politics is not how to acquire power, but how to transfer it to a new generation of leaders. More difficult still is for leaders to deliberately create new and able leaders to systematically take over from the older when the time comes. But if I were to appraise the redoubtable Ajibola Mandispe on his character, ability, reliability, and strength to connect and influence people, I would say without a doubt that only a handful of men would be able to match his qualities. Honorable members, these three honorable members have truly left their marks on the floor of this chamber. And the least homage we can and should all pay them is to say, you all carry with you to the rest of the world our most abiding love, respect, and affection. Posterity will never forget to chronicle that indeed he was passed through this way. Honorable members, today, as we welcome our APC colleagues from the shadows into the limelight of parliamentary politics and banter, let me take this opportunity to remind them that Sierra Leone is at a most critical stage where human capital and economic development have now taken center stage, and indeed are now the topmost priorities. It is indeed a formidable task to accomplish, and it is a task that beckons for attention from all able-bodied men and women, the old and young, the lettered and unlettered, the high and low, no matter where you are, at home or abroad, in every nook and cranny of this land that we love so much. It also means it is not a task for one political party alone. On the contrary, it is a task for all of us, working together, but more importantly, with us, the honorable members of Parliament, taking the lead. Above all, I believe it is a task that is doable and achievable, so long as our constant refrain is that Sierra Leone is and will always remain our only country, and there is no other country we can call our own. Honorable members, before I delve into the nature of the task in hand, allow me to recall here a little instructive lesson of contemporary history to refresh our minds. Our country, Sierra Leone, obtained its political independence from our British colonizer in 1961. 4 good years ahead of Singapore, a comparatively small island country in Southeast Asia, which attained its statehood in 1965. It was and still is inhabited by a much smaller population than ours, consisting of Chinese, Malays, Indians, and others. So it is not any less heterogeneous than we are in Sierra Leone. But there is this remarkable difference. Singapore had nothing, literally nothing, no natural resource at independence apart from human beings and a deep sea harbor, just as we have our own deep water key. But we Sierra Leone have a lot more assets to be proud of. We're endowed with gold, diamonds, iron ore, bauxite, tantalite, rutile, palm oil, palm kernels, etc., etc. You name it, we have it. Yet, in 1961, Sierra Leone's per capita income was only $140, and its annual GDP was $328 million. Singapore's per capita in 1965 was $517, and its annual GDP was a mere $975 million. By 2022, 60 years on, Sierra Leone's per capita income was still only $488, and an annual GDP of not more than $3,970 million, compared to Singapore's per capita income of $82,808, and an annual GDP of 466,978 million. Today, with this galaxy of notables gathered in this well of time, from both our two main political parties, I cannot resist the temptation to ask the question, where did we go wrong? Where did we go wrong? Because we once prided ourselves with the accolade of the Athens of education in West Africa. Although today we lament how that has plummeted to such low levels that young at school are not ashamed to think they have a divine right to pass public examinations. And our public servants are equally busy embellishing their desks with degrees and diplomas not properly earned but purchased from a non-accredited Dominion college with high salary. So while Singapore was busy obtaining laurels and moving up the development ladder rapidly from a third world classification to a first world country, Sierra Leone has remained behind, wallowing in abject poverty and deprivation, and fighting with other countries and hoping for the crumbs to fall from the dinner tables of the rich countries. Honorable members, with all the brilliant minds who produced in this country, past and present, what really have we gone wrong? What have we done? What have we done to deserve what we have? To answer this question, I will invite all of us present in this world today to borrow a leaf from Singapore's enviable Book of Development. First, they gave the highest national priority to educating and training their people to the highest standard. They sent them to the best of the best colleges, everywhere at home and abroad. And they got them bonded on scholarships that obligated them to return and work for Singapore after graduation. The success of this scheme reached such a point that those who went to the United States, the country with the stiffest requirements in the world for a visa, relaxed their visa requirements for Singaporeans because no Singapore graduate wanted ever to remain permanently in America after graduation, because the salaries waiting for them at home were much higher than they would earn in America. Second, Singapore challenged their citizens to imbibe a sense of patriotism that was second to none. Those who studied with Singaporeans in colleges abroad can testify to this. A student from Singapore aspires to nothing but a first-class honors degree. And the day he gets it, he's on the next plane back to Singapore. Third, Singapore developed a culture of appointing to high office people of proven competence and leadership based on meritocracy. Nepotism and cronyism died the very day an independent Singapore was born, and they remain permanently in their graves to this day. Remember, honorable members, how serious this principle is respected in a country of such small population that everybody virtually knows everybody else. Amazing. This is a country where their development plans are tailored to run for decades, and they are executed to the last detail. And it matters not who or which political party is in power. Fourth, in Singapore, the culture of incorruptibility is second to none. Their leaders don't govern, they lead. And they also peremptorily lead by example. The first Prime Minister, Lee Kuan Yew, was once accused of corruption by a British newspaper in England. What did he do? He sued the newspaper for defamation. But interestingly, he sued not in Singapore, but in the British courts, and he won. That in itself speaks volumes about the character of the man. Honorable members, I narrate all this simply to demonstrate the essential ingredients which combine to produce the phenomenal economic development of Singapore. But it also points to another simple truth. Singapore has achieved its phenomenal development and growth over the last 60 years, not by luck or happen chance, but rather through good and transformative leadership that is highly educated, locally driven, focused, motivated, dedicated, purposeful, and incorruptible. This is the new challenge facing us today in this sixth parliament, and it confronts all of us equally, regardless of party color or affiliation. I invite all of us to emulate the good example that Singapore presents, and it's not yet too late to do so. It may sound like a feat of serendipitous proportions, but it's not impossible. Together, we can do it and achieve. Honorable members, with that, I thank you kindly, and I now take this opportunity to extend my warmest congratulations and felicitations to all the new MPs of the parliamentary leadership of the All People's Congress in this sixth parliament of the second republic. I thank you for your kind attention. Honorable members, I now ask for your endorsement of the leadership of the APC party in Parliament, as read out by me a little while ago. All those in favor say aye. Aye. And those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Mr. Speaker, I had a counter motion against
I will end on a very sad note, unfortunately. With a very heavy heart, it is one of those unpleasant duties that I have to do. But I want to announce the demise of
Mr. Speaker, today you really made it.
What did you do?
made our day. But I don't want to say you made my day. We on this side, the former speaker of this house usually says to thyself be true. The speech you just delivered to this world, I must confess that you really made our day. And with your permission, sir, we are please requesting that you furnish us with copies of this particular speech. It will guide us in our future proceedings. We are humbly requesting, whether soft or hard copy, that every member of parliament ought to have a copy of this speech. That's my humble submission, sir. Please.
In answer to your request, I hereby give a copy to the clerks at the table. And we will have of reading it in the books and proceedings and the next sitting of Parliament. Let me now proceed with the sad message I have for you, and that is to inform you officially of the death of the mother of one of our own, the Honorable Pine. Her mother, Ndamba Sina, whose death took place on Friday the 22nd of September 2023 at Kosotam, Jue. May I ask all of us to rise and observe the minute silence. May God forgive her mistakes on earth and grant the soul of the faithful departed eternal rest in his heavenly kingdom. Amen. Shall we proceed?
The Honorable Speaker, just to inform our brothers and sisters that on Monday at 10 in the morning, we have a very solid meeting to plan for your induction going forward. Since your brothers and sisters on this side have all gone through 3 weeks of the induction, we also want you to catch up with them and be on the same page with them. So on Monday, we'll meet and we'll all together plan this induction. Thank you.
Playing of papers. A. Honorable Senator S. Thomas, Deputy Speaker of Parliament.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, with your kind permission, may I respectfully lay on the table of this House audited financial statement of the parliamentary service for the year ended 31st December 2022. Baikamz Senior.
Minister of Transport and Education.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, with your leave, I beg today on the table of this house, this honorable house, the following paper. Rail and port lease agreement between the government of Sierra Leone and Keho Railway and Port Company Limited. Mr. Speaker, before I lay this paper, I want you to note, honorable members, is that this agreement took into cognizance the Tax and Duty Exemption Act 2023, Sections 6 and 7. That is just for your attention.
Announcement. Members of the Legislative Committee are invited to a familiarization meeting immediately after sitting at Committee Room Number 1, Parliament. Signed, Honorable Abu S. Chairman. This is to inform honorable members of Parliament and MDs that all donations towards spelling bee can be made to the Director General of Parliament. The children are ready to continue to make Sierra Leone proud at the African stage in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Join us complement the efforts of our government to achieve the quality and sustainable education in Sierra Leone. Date for the team is 28 November 2023. Here ends the announcement. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. With that,
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise on Section 97B, in tandem with SO 25(1) of the Constitution of the Eastern Northern Mr. Speaker,
you stand in order.
25(1) to give notice of a motion. Mr. Speaker, this House knows very well that sometime last week or this week, tariffs have increased by about 70%. And for the information of the public, cumulatively, we have seen for orange is about 430% increase in the phone call tariff for the mobile phones, mobile communication. For orange, it's about 500, and for TCL, it's about 1,760% increase. And us being representatives of our people, I think it is but fitting that this House calls the necessary authorities to answer to relevant questions. And that goes to I know what God has said, I will be the needful, but I just want to give notice that I will approach your office to officially lay the motion, the office of the clerk, through the office of the clerk, to do the needful. Thank you very much, Mr.
I do take note of your request and your promise. By the same token, I'd like to draw your attention to the fact that we are meeting on Thursday. It's very likely the finance bill of 2024 that might very well address the concerns and issues that we would like to raise. And it will be followed by the reading of the budget on Friday. With that, this House stands adjourned.
Thank you for supporting Be Alive with Baikamz and Baikamz Entertainment. Thank you so much. Mina Yambo Savant and host MC Jamal.